We have Suprita Deswal. Suprita ma'am is placed at PwC and is also the placement coordinator for electrical branch in the year 1920 and has handled the process for more than 20 companies. She will help us understand how to ace aptitude tests and also understanding the various non-technical profiles. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, hi guys. I'm Suprita Deswal, as you've already been told, and I will sort of help you out in understanding how to ace the tests and the various profiles that non-tech profiles that visit our campus. And finally, I'll try to tell you bit cheat code things that I've learned through my experience, and I've seen all the people around me who've given interviews. So what you can do and what you can't, what you shouldn't do. So firstly, regarding the aptitude test, there's one thing I'd like to tell you all is that you don't need to be the best. तुम्हें best बनने की कोशिश नहीं करनी है. You just need to come in top 40 to 50. Generally इसी के around क्योंकि shortlist आती है. You don't have to be, you specifically don't have to be the best person. Top 10 नहीं होना क्योंकि कभी कभार unfortunately companies feel as if this person is so good in their aptitude, they might go for higher studies for MBA. So not all companies do this, but some might do this, so you don't want to take that risk, I'm sure. So try to be the in top 40 and that will work for you. And if you're not satisfied in being top 40, top 30 would also work, top 20 would also work. Now, to prepare for aptitude tests, I would suggest, yeah, luckily or unluckily, however you want to take it, you have the time to do it right now. So what you can do is start by practicing aptitude half an hour or an hour a day, not too much, and focus on the speed aspect of it. Okay, so there are 4 sites that I'd like to tell you. Firstly is indiabix.com. I'm sure you've heard of it. If you haven't, it is okay. So they have around 10 aptitude tests and half an hour tests. Start off with this to get an idea how you're performing, to just get a basis of how you're performing. Then there's freshersworld.com, saval.com, and finally pariksha.co. This is the perfect site for you to prepare for your test environment, because इसमें around there are in 1 hour you have to do around 40 to 50 questions, जो generally company इतना नहीं करती हैं. Companies का इससे भी कम होता है. The level of this site is also quite higher. So if you're already acing this website ke test, then definitely you'll ace companies' aptitude tests. Okay, so I would suggest you use this. And this pariksha.co also has different topic wise tests as well. So once you give India Bixka tests, yeah, you learn something, you can or you're doing it yourself through other sites or course books. And if you've joined CAT or CAT or something else, so tum wahan ka to check where you lie in that aptitude area, you can always go for this. So I personally use this site pariksha.co. It helped me a lot because it teaches you how to juggle through various what's the word? Yeah, various parts of various sections of quant and English, and you can't do all because the time is not enough, which is the case in a lot of aptitude tests that we have to give for our placement session. Now, one thing that I want to tell you is that time is the key, not how many correct answers you get. Most of the aptitude tests that you go through actually have a lot of questions. Specifically, if I target BCG, they have a lot of questions and the time you feel is not enough. You can easily get the answers because the questions aren't that tough. The problem that you have is that you don't have the enough time, which you need to work upon. So while you're preparing for your aptitude test, it is very important that you focus on the time aspect rather than how many correct answers you're getting, because negative marking एक या दो कंपनीज के ही टेस्ट में होती है, मोस्टली नहीं होती है. Now another thing that you can think of is the sections. In certain tests there are sections specifically divided, right? English, aptitude, logical reasoning, and even GK in some cases. Very few, very rare, but yeah, GK also exists. Now there are two chances. Either you'll be able to toggle through those sections, or you can't. You have to complete one section and then go to the next one. In that case, you have no choice but to go through the section, right? Look at the time and accordingly decide how much time you're going to pay towards that section. Specifically ये problem आती है quant वाले section में, क्योंकि हम engineering students हैं and we feel अरे we can ace this, we might get a problem in English, but English section is always helpful. It gives you easy marks. And if luckily you can toggle between sections, then you should definitely make up your mind before you start giving the test ki how I'm going to proceed. If you feel you're good at English, start off with the English section, then go to quant to just feel because you're feeling refreshed, and then move on to logical. If you want to do it oppositely, you can do that too. Apnya deke, whichever way you feel comfortable, go for that one rather than following jo test ke sections hai. If you can, definitely do this. Now, apart from this, for aptitude tests ko ace karna, I would say these sites are enough. And if you prepare, if you start, even if you don't start preparing right now, it is okay. But definitely prepare for these aptitude tests, because these are the first step towards the placement. If you can't crack the aptitude test, तुम्हें अपना talent जो तुमने 3-4 साल में एक साथ मेहनत करके you've acquired, you won't be able to showcase it to the HR teams, to the people who've come to hire you. So you need to clear the aptitude test. And for this, even if you're not studying right now, I would suggest start doing it in the month of June and July. At that point, give it a bit more time than what you can give right now. If you're if you're already very fluent in English, good luck. Very good. It's good. English you'll ace, you'll ace and always benefit. But if you're not, I would suggest please work upon your English, not just in case of just to ace the aptitude test, but to also because English is always preferred during interviews. Students who have an extreme amount of knowledge end up not getting selected just because they were not able to pass on their thoughts and ideas in English fluently. Does not mean you have to use heavy words or anything like that, but yeah, if you're able to uh, pass on your thoughts really well and you can make the interviewer understand what you're trying to say, I think that is good enough. Now coming to the various types of roles that are offered in non-tech placements. Broadly, we can categorize the roles that come in our college as analyst, consultant, or associate. Then there's data scientist. Then there is trading and fintech, as Chahat already explained to you. Startups, supply chain management, sales and marketing. Most of the companies, non-tech companies, come for analyst, consultant, or associate profile, and that is generally the profile that we're targeting, right? So I'd like to give you sort of an example of the companies which come for these specific profiles and the package that they offer. Okay, so in SCM, the big name is Airtel, and it pays you around 11 lakhs per annum, which is quite high if you look at the non-tech placement scenario. 11-10 above is considered extremely good, because the average usually lies around 7-8, 6 to 8 ke beech mein. Okay, so for SCM we have Airtel. Then for data scientist you have UHG, you have IQVIA and a few other companies. UHG pays you 14 lakhs per annum. Okay, data scientist, and it's related to analysis of data and ML. If you have ML projects or anything of that sort in that domain, it definitely gives you an edge over other people who are applying for the same profile. After that, then for sales and marketing, we have College Dunia and a few more companies. For trading and fintech, JP Morgan Chase, Chahat just told you. And I'd like to discuss analyst, consultant, and associate together. Mostly, like I said, companies lie in this category, such as Bain, data analyst, PwC, technology consultant, cyber risk consultant. Then we have BCG also, research consultant. Deloitte also comes under this. ZS associate has 3 profiles: business operation associate, business technology associate, decision analyst associate. So all of these, and their packages is around 9, 8.43, 8.9, which is usually, which comes under the good packages in non-tech profile. Now in all these profiles, the process is almost similar. First you have to give either there will be CV shortlisting or an aptitude test. इन दोनों में से आप जो ace कर लोगे, जो भी होगा, you need to be aptitude test, you've cleared it, then you have around 2 to 3 rounds of interviews. It can also go up to 4 or 5. Okay, and in these rounds, you can be asked case studies, guesstimates, puzzles. Finally, there's an HR round. So now HR round, and then you get your result. I've handled around 15 to 20, I think 15 to 20 non-tech companies in itself. And what people generally don't know is that even though the placement process is highly predictable, you can only aspect how things are going to go up to a certain extent. Because after that, even the good people that I've seen who are extremely talented sometimes are not able to bag the placement that they desire. That does not mean you're not good, or the person who got the placement is better than you. Not necessarily, not always. You need to introspect and ask for feedback only after, if you're able to not crack the placements for 2-3 interviews, you're not doing well in those interviews, you're not clearing 2-3 interviews, only then. Sometimes it's maybe because you're not the right fit, which is why the company felt they shouldn't hire you, even though you have the perfect CGPA, you have the perfect profile and everything. But there's sometimes they just it, and it's not your fault, is what I'd like to say. Secondly, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I've seen usually in non-tech placements, there's one question which is almost always asked, which is, tell me about yourself. I'd suggest you be prepared with that. Always write it beforehand and memorize it. I did it too. What you can't tell about yourself on the spot, even if they ask you, and even if you feel you know yourself really well, it doesn't work like that. When you're there in front of the interviewer and he asks you, okay, tell me about yourself, you might end up saying, oh, I like mangoes. No, he or she is not interested in that. So make already record, write it down, revise it thoroughly what you want to say in tell me about yourself, and please don't make it all technical. There should be a difference between reading your CV and asking you what tell me about yourself. If you're listing out all the things that you've done which you've already mentioned in your CV, it's of no use. Definitely mention them, but not just them. What you can do, what I suggest, and what I've seen helps people make a better impression, is by incorporating a personal experience, something which made you realize something or other. If I give my example, I would start off by saying that I'm the middle child, so I've learned how to handle conflict management and resolution, and I would laugh at that, and even they would laugh at it. Okay, what is this that she's saying? Something which is not a technical part of my life, which professional part of my life, I've used it to show how I can how I've learned from that, and I can use it in my professional life as well, and they find it quite funny. Sorry. Okay, so this happens. Then after you try to include a personal experience, and guys, please don't get worried, I don't have corona. Apart from this, if I one thing that I'd like to say again from my own experience, that I've seen is that people, they're all set with their work. They've they are extremely talented. They've prepared for the interview. They know all the answers, but as soon as they enter the room where the interviewer is, they go blank. Or even if they don't go blank, they're not able to answer properly as they would have if you would have asked them the same question otherwise. Maybe it's maybe it's because of performance pressure or whatever. So one thing that I would suggest you to do in that case is, generally you know when your turn is going to be, the placement coordinators tell you, okay, after 4 5, after this person goes, it's going to be you. Take that time to sit alone or move aside from the crowd. Take 4 to 5 deep breaths. Take them to calm yourself down. That always helps. Okay. This, and finally, lastly, I would, from my own experience, would say that it is okay if you don't do well in your interview. Sometimes you feel you've not done well. It is okay. Sometimes it is okay. You've not agreed to what the interviewer was saying. It is okay. Till the time you've said, no, I do not agree with you, in an amicable or a happy voice, without any sad expressions, they'd actually like that fact over you agreeing with them on everything that they're saying. So put your point forward, but with a smile, and everything will work fine. I think that is it for now. I'd like to tell you more through the questions that you come up with.
Thank you for the wonderful talk, ma'am.
Hmm.
Thank you for the talk, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
Ma'am, attendees have a few questions. Hello, ma'am. Attendees
Hi,
have a few
Bolo.
questions that they would like to ask.
Hmm.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, Bolo.
Ma'am, since you were a PC, what according to you, what should be highlighted in the CV? Like, what should students should mainly take care of while preparing their CV? What is you, ma'am?
Okay, so the company is not looking for a king, they're looking for jacks of all trade. So तुम्हें किसी भी एक particular चीज में you're not supposed to know it all. What you need to show is that you can do multiple things at the same time. So even if you have some tech related things that you've done, incorporate them as well in your CV. Try to put everything. It should look wholesome. Sorry. Oh my god. Hmm. Also, it is very important that you take care of your CGPA. It is extremely important. People who do not work upon their CGPA and go around doing co-curriculars, it is not helpful at all. They look at your CGPA very vigorously. Does that answer my question, or?
Thanks a lot. Ma'am, MTech people have been asking that, ma'am, can they sit for the placements, non-tech placements? They've been asking this question.
Who asked this question?
That question in the chat box, people have been asking that can they participate in the placement session?
See if the third year students
Ma'am,
who are
MTech
going to.
people have been asking, MTech students, that can they
Okay.
participate in the placement session?
They can definitely participate in non-tech placements, but certain companies only come for B.Tech students. In that case, we talk to the company, we try to talk them out in looking at M.Tech students as well. But some of them listen, some of them don't. It is not in our hands what the company is looking for, right? So the companies which are open for MTech, definitely MTech students can participate in that, but not in all the companies, because certain companies have their criteria that the associate profile will be given to someone who has a bachelor's degree only, not for a master's degree also.
And the last question that I would like to ask is that, ma'am, can you repeat the resources that they can look for preparing the aptitude test? What other resources can they follow?
Yeah, definitely. So the resources is indiabix.com, indiabix.com, then pariksha.co, not com, co, pariksha.co, sawal.com, sawal.com, and freshersworld.com.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks
You
a lot,
too.
ma'am. That's all for the
Bye bye,
questions.
guys. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Thank you.